Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary O'Connor. On behalf of the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation, thank you to Alaska Public Media for allowing us to bring you Hangar Flying. We are glad you could join us this evening, where we are happy to have Noreen Price back on our program. She is a new accident investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board. Welcome back, Noreen.
Thank you.
So on our last show, we talked about how you got started in aviation and a little bit about your background in the Navy. A lot of people in aviation appreciate the investigations and the reports that the National Transportation Safety Board issues after accidents and incidents. And I know a lot of pilots look forward to reading those. Did you always know that you wanted to be an accident investigator or work at the NTSB?
I don't think anybody knows when they're young that they want to be an accident investigator. It's one of those things when you're in aviation, you start flying or maintaining airplanes and you lose a friend or two, you suddenly become engrossed in aviation safety. So I didn't always know it, but about 10 years ago, I had a real close call myself, and that day I really questioned my own abilities and how could I make such a terrible mistake, and it kind of led me to a journey into human factors and accident investigation. And then I went to Aviation Safety Officer School, where they do accident investigation courses, lab training, operational risk management, and human factors training, and I just really found specifically the human factors piece just fascinating, and I really enjoyed it. When I left the Navy, I went to University of Southern California. I went to some of their courses in safety and security and accident investigation. And once again, I love the investigative piece of it, taking the technical pieces along with the human factors pieces and looking at an investigation incident top to bottom. I really enjoy that type of work.
So you had a lot of experience in the Navy and with your previous job working in safety in the aviation industry. Is there one experience that you think will be particularly helpful in preparing you for the NTSB job?
One experience, my own, I think our own personal experience are the ones that we hold deep in our hearts. One was a friend of mine who died, and he was one of these awesome pilots, the people with lots of hours, lots of experience, great leader, great friend. You think that person will never take a perfectly good plane and fly it into the ground. And he did one day, and I saw it on TV. So those sort of things make you think, if people like that can have an accident, certainly any one of us can have a bad day. And if we're not on top of our game when that bad day comes, it's going to be a bad day for us too. That experience stayed with me, and it still stays with me till this day. And I've had my own close calls that made me think about all the things that happened that day that I had control of, that I didn't mitigate when I should have. So those are two kind of experiences that I think I'll take with me on this job.
I think you're absolutely right. When we see somebody that we've looked up to, our heroes, our mentors, and see something bad happen to them, we realize how it could indeed happen to us.
Absolutely, yes. Nobody's perfect.
Exactly. And we can all have a bad day.
Yes.
So you mentioned human factors a little bit earlier. Is that one area that you hope to work with and specialize in, or have a special focus within the NTSB?
Well, as investigators in the regional level, which I do, we're everything pretty much. We don't focus on one particular area, but the area within human factors that I have a high interest in is fatigue, and it's on one of the NTSB's most wanted lists this year. It's worth looking at on the NTSB site if you haven't done that yet. But here in Alaska, it's very interesting because of the circadian rhythms and the daylight darkness issues. I know personally I have issues with fatigue in Alaska, and I know everybody does. I'm always talking about pilots about how do you manage this fatigue issue? And when it comes to the commercial operations, they have certain requirements, right? But all the private pilots, the GA pilots, they don't. 135 operators don't have to have fatigue management programs. So those are areas that I'm particularly interested in, because we all have to pay attention to the fatigue, not just the commercial operators. So I will be looking closely at those issues when I see them. But
Oh, good. We'll look forward to hearing more about fatigue in the accident reports then. and some pretty thorough look backs, which I know the NTSB does
Yes,
after there's been a fatal
absolutely.
accident. Quickly, is there one piece of information that you would give to somebody who is looking for a career with the NTSB?
I would say stick closely to the ntsb.gov site. There are a lot of great resources on that site, and I think the best thing you can do is really read the accident reports when they come out. Look at everything from the preliminary reports to the factual reports to probable cause, and then there's also a lot of training that's available with the NTSB. There's Safety Compass online, safety alerts online. You can sign up for all those things, and I think if you're interested in that type of work, that'd be a great place to start.
Okay, thank you for that bit of advice. We appreciate it. And thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your support and we appreciate you tuning in to Hangar Flying. Until next time, fly safely.